Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman YouTube channel at the Regal Gentleman Studio. Today we've got Stephen in the chair. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad.
You good?
Yeah, good.
Awesome. So what are we doing? What's the plan?
Well, it's been about 4 odd years, I think, since I've last haircut.
Wow.
Just trimming it, messing around here and there. Kind of looking for a complete change, to be honest.
Yeah, sure.
I'm pretty open to anything at this point, like let you kind of take control and see
Okay. Right, okie dokie. Have you got anything in mind at all?
I usually prefer a bit more like length towards the front.
Right.
Most of the time, I've got quite a bit of recession going on the side, so kind of adjust things best to that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, the problem with the front is that there's quite a lot of breakage.
Yeah.
So essentially the length that you see in here is at the back, yeah. So again, leaving more length at the front, we could do, but I think shorter would be much better for you. The shorter you go would actually probably thicken it up and make it look a bit tidier. In terms of the actual look that you're trying to achieve, I mean, do you have anything in mind before I give you some suggestions?
I mean, it's sort of a fade, kind of go up, maybe mid-fade from the sides. Up.
Okay, yeah.
It's been 4 years, so I haven't really...
You haven't really done,
Yeah.
So you're happy to take all of this length off, yeah?
Yeah.
All go, yeah. Okay, so we're going to do like a sort of, I would probably say mid-fade would probably work, to be fair, because it's quite short on top. I just want to make something look like clean, smart, tidy. I think what we should do is have the fade as the focus point, okay? Because in that way the top will just sort of blend in with everything else, but the fade will be something that people will sort of draw attention to. I think we remove the back first and we'll get a proper look at it, you know? But I think this is just something that's more bespoke to Stephen, to be fair. Just with what we're working with at the time, we just need to mold it to whatever's gonna work for Stephen's hair texture, face shape and things like that as well. But I mean, good for drastic change as well.
Yeah,
just start, like proper start from scratch, literally, you know? All right, cool. Right, well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the back off first, all right? And then we'll get into it. Is that all right? Well, are you, what's your eyesight like without it?
Depends on the day.
Do I look like a silhouette or can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, that's good then, yeah. I was gonna say, sometimes when you can't, it's like a big surprise, big reveal at the end. Right, okay guys, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this off and I'm doing it this height here. I'm doing it low down. Again, it all depends where we cut it off from and what height we leave. So obviously we're doing a fade. I wanna try and play around with the top as well. So I'm gonna cut it from low down, about here, okay? You ready, Stephen?
Ready.
100%?
Yeah.
There we go. So cut it straight across. There we go. There we go. Want to keep this?
Why not?
Why not? I was going to start on the top, but I'm going to start on the back and sides. I want to get that fade in first. I think because we're working with quite a short length, majority on top already, then I think starting the back and sides would be quite nice. Just starting off the horseshoe. Now, once I've done this horseshoe, I just want to ask Stephen if he'll take the mask down in a second so I can have a proper little look at his face once the horseshoe is done. Stephen, would you mind just popping down your mask for me if that's all right? Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can get away with going a fairly high fade, to be honest, mate. As you see there, do you see the way it kind of dips at the top, just up here? Sometimes it can dip in from about that point, because yours goes up quite straight. Up and off works really well for you. And I think the shorter, better. I think it'll work really well. We'll stretch the blend out. I always think they just look so good at the moment. Like it's kind of the thing I'm really enjoying doing. Just having that really nice high fade. Blast out this little kink at the back. Just dry off the sides. I'm going to start on my 2-guard like I normally do. Now the back of the head, flatten down here. It's already quite round. The bone doesn't protrude out too much. I'm going to work to the occipital bone though, just in case. So I'm going to drop the fade slightly at the back, but it'll still be a fairly high fade anyway. 2-guard on. Leave it down to 2.5 and take all this off. So I'm going to use my comb as the guide. So there's the bone there. See? There's the ridge. Comb in. And use that comb to come up and off. And work around to the left-hand side. Work up and off. Using Stephen's head shape as a sort of some help for this fade as well. So you can see it doesn't concave too much, only just above the round of the head, which is normal. So we can get away with going nice and high and tight on this one. And I do think it's a good idea too. I think it will be a good focus point for the haircut. And then we can cut the top down just so it's a nice shorter length, nice and smart, just so we can have a little bit of something to play with on top. Do you think it's a good idea? And there's my comb as the guide. Coming up and off. Again, just using Stephen's head shape to help me on this one. Up and off, above the temple. And Stephen's got quite a wide jaw, so I think by keeping this quite high and tight, we'll really balance out the jaw. I really do. There we go. Now, onto my closed guard, so our number 2. Same again, starting at the back, working up and off. There we go. So I'm going to straight to my 1 guard, leave it down, so the 1.5. And going nice and high, using the head shape to help me. Up and off into the 2. So we'll start from the back. I'm going to blend this in. I'm just trying to utilise Stephen's head shape for this, to allow me to go that nice and high and tight look. Especially when it comes to that transition into the top as well. Now I'm going to put my 0 line in now. Again, I'm going to go for that medium to high. So I'm going to start by here. Okay, so normally I was doing low, I'd start by here. Medium, I'd do it by here, then we'll stretch the blend out to make it look even higher. Like so. So dip it down a little bit towards the back. But so the height you can see from straight on to the sides, you can see it's got that nice high, tight on the side bit. Then working down at the back, just a touch, just to balance in the head shape. Now what I'm going to do on Stephen's sides and through the temple, I'm going to shape the temple area. I think because it's fairly weak at the front on the hairline, I want to shape the sides here to kind of strengthen it up a little bit. Just starting the beard, working that up and off. Working up and off into that 0. Taking the beard from the hair, slide it across, and then work up until you get a nice line. So onto the shavers now. Work up and off. Right, so I'm going to start on the right hand side now. I'm going to do a really nice high and tight blend, so just stretching that fade out. Open blade, leave it down, 0.5. Just use again the shape of his head, clip it flat, just work it up and off. Like that. Just working down through the lever until I get down to 0. Up through the lever. And I'm doing, if you look from the side, I'm just resting the clipper on and just doing this really quickly. So I'm using the flatness of the clipper and the angle of the head shape to just work it and basically rub it against the scalp, and it creates that nice stretch blend on the half, like that. It's all about the angle of the head as well. I'm just going to go over the blend with my one guard, take it up and off. And just using my clipper comb, I'm just going to run over the blend, just to make sure we've got the height in there. So, moving on to the top now, and come out from the crown. There we go, so as you can see we've kept the crown in play. I'm thinking just a nice sort of short texture. Something that's just going to be nice and easy, like nice and low maintenance. Maybe just bring it over a touch. I don't want, or maybe not, maybe just a short texture so we can have a little bit messy. I think that'd be quite nice, and we can just maybe trim the fringe a bit tighter as well to give it more of a shorter hairline, which I think will work well. Do you mind taking off this much? Can you see without your glasses? Can you see that?
Yes.
So I was thinking maybe going like it's quite short about that.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Yeah. Cool. I'm just taking a nice short length, just so we can kind of have a little bit of movement in there. I think the shorter we go, the better, 100%. I'm cutting this straight now. So let's add the bluntness to it, so it's got a bit of a thicker end, with a healthier look as well. And straight up. Using our guide on the left hand side. There we go. How long did you judge your hair long for? Was it 4? How many years?
4 years, yeah.
4 years, wow.
I'm just trimming it every random time.
Were you doing it yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. What made you grow it out?
I've just kind of always ended up having long hair as I was growing up, and it's just been the natural course of action.
Yeah.
And then just a bit of laziness and lack of clarity of what to do with it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's knowing what to do with it, isn't it? Especially if you've always had it as well. If you've always had long hair, it can be quite tough, sort of, you know, kind of finding a style that you like.
Yeah, it's just easy to go back to.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, definitely. That is the problem. It's convenient, isn't it? As well, when you've had it for so long, it's really convenient. I'm gonna work horizontally on this now. That's like that because it's been so long for so long, but that'll settle down in a second. So what were you using to cut it then? Were you using like just...
Generally a pair of scissors or razors, depending.
Really? Wow. Yeah. So what, did you actually buy a pair of like hairdressing scissors though?
I've had them for a while. Like,
have you?
Yeah, and then the razors as well.
Right, wow. Did you attempt any of your friends during lockdown or anything?
No, my mate shaved his head while I was at work, so
oh, did he?
I was glad I wasn't around for that one. Last year with hair.
Oh yeah, gotcha. I mean, I've seen quite a lot of them after the first lockdown, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, a lot. There was a few. I think because it was novelty and it was a bit, you know, it was something so new to us, and you know, I don't think we'd ever thought in a million years we'd end up being stuck in the house for 4 months, did we? You know what I mean? And it was one of those things. The problem when you go from like quite long and you've had it long for so long, it's got such a kink to it, and it's where you've been doing it every single day. When you go short, you're sort of left with that. So I'm going to give it a little blast out so you can see from the crown, just using the round brush, and this will dry it into shape for you. That side settled down a bit now. Over there, because when I first cut that was quite spiky. It just takes time just to settle down, get used to where it's meant to grow, because you've obviously been going back for so long. So what I'm going to do, with the front, I'm going to cut it quite blunt. because I think your hairline looks so solid at the moment. I think this is definitely the right idea. Yeah. I think it looks really good. A lot thicker, like I was saying before. You know, when you think about when you came in, the shorter you go, the thicker it looks. So I'm gonna cut your hairline nice and straight, okay, and just have a bit of movement through the back, a bit like a crop, okay. So I'm gonna cut it from that point there all the way around. Doing this kind of haircut, if we were to pop it to one side, it could look like we're trying to do a comb over, which we're not. You know, I don't want that effect. I want it just to be like a nice, short haircut. So by doing it like this, we'll give the effect of a short crop without it looking like we're trying to achieve, like, to try and cover up any recession or something like that. By doing something like this, and this is really good for anyone with a hairline like yours, Stephen. It's a good way of doing it. I'm just going to move with the scissors. And we'll do this to the top. A little bit of, tiny bit of texture. Switching up combs and do a bit of scissor over comb around the blend now. Trimming through that crown there. Shape is still there, the crown's still there. And I can't do much about the way the pattern, the growth pattern is at the moment. That's just, looks as though it's been like that for so long. It'll take a few days for that to settle down, I think. There we go, mate. Well, let me give you your glasses and you have a proper look. There we go, no worries. How's that for you?
It's quite different, yeah.
It's very different, isn't it? Yeah. But can you see how much thicker the top looks as well by just doing what we've done?
Yeah, compared to what it before.
Compared to what it was, yeah. Put your glasses down for me. Sorry, your mask down for me if you don't mind. So I think that works really, really well.
Yeah, it's much better.
And that suits you so much. It really is, it really is. I'll just show you the back. So we went nice and high and tight.
Yeah, much better.
I think that looks wicked, mate. I think, look how thick the top looks.
Yeah, compared to before.
Compared to before.
It's drastic.
It really is. It's a drastic change, but a change that I think you needed.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Look at that, even through the back. So like I say, going shorter, some people go, wow, that's a bit crazy, why would you go short if you are having some sort of thinning or recession? Yeah. But it's so much thicker at the root. So that's why I'd always recommend you doing that. Yeah. And we just left a little bit of length at the very front, so we just pulled it straight up, combed it down, and then cut it. So there's a little section just through here. It's a tiny bit longer than everywhere else, and that just fills in the front. Yeah. All right? Just these little bits here where obviously, I know we've washed it and stuff, but obviously it's just kinking out there. Yeah. That is just because it's been like that for so long. Yeah. That will relax. It is all cut in nicely though for you. All right? You see that? Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks, Stephen. That was wicked, mate. That was wicked. I'm just going to blend in your sideburns now into your beard. So blend it down 1.5. Going in. Teeth in first. And then working through. God. Into my 0.5. 0. And just working through the lever, just to effect. There we go. Just work through the lever. Right, so you happy with that, mate, yeah?
Perfect, man.
Awesome, I'll give you your glasses back. Have a proper little look. I think that looks amazing, man. I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah, sounds better.
It is, isn't it? Looks great. So yeah, once that all just settles down, give it another wash, or maybe another couple of washes, and that'll really settle in for you, all right? But I love the high and tight. I think it works so well for this look. I think it makes the top look thicker as well. Yeah. It really does. So just recap, Stephen came in with a 4-year, maybe 5-year-old DIY job. A lot of length, sort of from around maybe the apex and by the occiput bone, just kind of here, right? But as you can see, it was quite, from when he came in, it was quite sort of thin through the fringe, a lot of breakage going on. And he just wanted a drastic change. So he wanted like a mid to high skin fade. And then we just set short on the top. I think that would be the best thing to do for him. I think when you're working with that kind of texture hair where it's starting to really, really like thin at the front, the shorter you go, the better. It really does, and it makes it look thicker as, you know, the proof's in the pudding from Stephen's haircut for this one. And then yeah, with the skin fade, you know, because there's a difference in like the scalp being so white, and then obviously the hair being that darker finish, it makes the top look thicker as well. So I think that kind of skin fade that you wanted was a great idea. Because again, when you see the fade, you're like, wow, that's a nice fade. And then it doesn't draw your attention to the top straight away. It just makes it look a lot thicker as well. What we did was we pulled it straight up at the front, and then as I combed it forwards, I just thought it looked really thick. So I just thought, okay, let's cut this fringe straight across. Let's give it a bit more of a shorter crop. Again, something that isn't got a name, you know, I suppose it is a crop, but this was done purely on Stephen to make it work best for him. So it wasn't really sort of starting off with a crop. It was just like, I want to cut it shorter. I want to see where it goes with this. And that's it. Yeah? Happy, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Looks great, man. Looks great. Thanks so much, mate.